So this is the part that never really stops getting weird. My name is Evie. I'm one of Victoria's alters. Um, yeah, I know it's really weird. It's like, I guess we're making this video because about a year ago today, we basically became aware that we were dissociating. Victoria really can't forget it. She was just kind of like laying around and then it happened. There was like a sort of weird mental, physical kind of shift thing. And before she knew it, she was more like, I'm supposed to be a dude. And then, things kind of like came together in her brain. And that was like her first really aware dissociative episode. Since then, we've had Andrew, myself, Darling, and Kelby. So there's 5 of us, including Victoria, and it's kind of been a bit of a journey. So we believe we're an OSDD 1B system. We don't have like big memory gap type things. We have a little bit of memory shenanigans. But it's not like a fully dysfunctional thing, which is like a key kind of difference, I guess, between DID, dissociative identity disorder. Um, in the year since then, we've learned a lot about ourselves. Victoria had a bit of an existential crisis that first week. It was very difficult, but since then, it's gotten better. I think we learn a lot about ourselves, each other, and then it's kind of how it comes back to this one kind of brain thing we're sharing. And there's still a lot of questions. We're working through therapy about it, but so it's been a wild year, for a lot of reasons, that included. But to celebrate a year, I asked a few social media places to just be like, hey, can you send in some questions for us? And people, and I guess like 5 questions came in, so I guess we'll do that. Cool, let me pull those up. So it looks like the first question is, have you had any alters come and go or fully leave? I don't think so. And this is gonna sound really dark, but we are questioning whether all of us here now were there kind of in our childhood, or whether something happened and things switched up, which is common apparently. Sometimes that happens. I don't know about common. But we aren't aware of any at this moment that have like kind of like come in and then they leave. Um, so no, not as far as we know. Are any of you specifically dog or cat people? I am definitely a cat person. I will meow when prompted. Um, we have a cat that hangs out outside. Sometimes I meow at it. I would love a cat because cats meow. I think Tori doesn't mind either. I think Andrew's a reluctant either. Darling's definitely a cat person because dogs might be a little bit too much for her. Kelby's just a shrug at everything. When you ask a question to Kelby, the answer is always shrug, except for what do you want for Christmas, which was apparently a snuggie. Unironically, we had one when we were a kid. I think Kelby just was like, that feels very good on my arms. So, third question: what would each of you want to fight? 100 duck-sized horses or a horse-sized duck? I would definitely want to fight 100 duck-sized horses. And you know why? Because I would actually keep the horses. I think everyone else would be depending on the situation. I think Andrew would definitely want to take on both. But if you had to make him choose, it would probably be the horse-sized duck. Darling would definitely want the horse-sized duck. Tori would want the duck-sized horses. Kelby shrugs. Kelby would shrug at that, I think. Question 4. Oh, camera shrug. Question 4. Is there any hobby one of you has that's like way off anything else is interested in outside of playing a role? Yeah, this person knows. The big one is obviously our collective League of Legends interest. Darling actually hates it more than Victoria. You'd be surprised. Um, she had a whole conversation with one of our friends about it. That was interesting. No, other than that, Andrew likes beer. Andrew is like, you can probably summon him with a good offer of a decent, like, ale. Like, not IPAs. I think the body has like a collective distaste for IPAs. I don't blame them. They're weird. Darling likes wine. Um, does anyone in this? I don't know our own hobbies. Does anyone in our system like anything that's really particularly weird compared to anything else besides beer and wine and League of Legends? Okay. I don't actually know though. Maybe our attitudes towards our hobbies, I guess. Um, I kind of want to vlog. That's really the only thing. And I think Darling does more poetry. Okay, last question. Are there smells or colors any alter identifies with? Like something where if one alter would smell it, they'd be like, oh, X, that's such an X alter thing. No, but it's interesting because, like, I think because olfactory stuff is, like, such a strong thing, it's not uncommon for it to be, like, a trigger factor in whether or not we recall something. There was this one time that Andrew I don't remember what it was. He came back from something. It was mostly Vic and Angie, and they were kind of co-fronting. And then they went to get Korean food, and they got Korean food, and then Angie was there. It was just all Andrew, and Victoria came out on the other side, and she was like, "I wanted that," and Andrew was just like, "Too bad." Nothing in particular. I think Andrew just does generally like spicy food. That's really it though. I guess Darling likes red and wine and stuff like that. No, nothing too intense in that regard. And those are all the questions I got. I didn't get that many. I think we were sick of hearing us talk about it. So I do want to thank anyone who's been supportive this past year, the past few months I've been out about this. It's been like really scary being upfront about it and like interacting with people who aren't part of the community because we spent a lot of time just like kind of socializing with other plural people, and it's really not just scary, not just for Tori, but for like me as well. Like doing a video is just really, really scary. And talking about it's scary. Like even being like, hey, Twitter, I'm gonna make a joke about alters now is kind of like, do people care? I think a little bit. But beyond this video, which is Evie, have been wanting to do a lot of gaming content in general. So recording this is a little bit of a litmus test on that. Is that the phrase? And clearly me trying to breathe up to it. So let's just see how well this goes. Victoria's only good at her writing job, so I'm hoping this is something I can do instead. So finally, 1 year seems like forever and not at all at the same time. And now that we're in the situation, we have a lot of those to go. Um, but despite multiplicity being like kind of a scary thing to understand and be in and live with and embrace, um, just off this year, we're just hopeful about the years to come. Um, and we're hoping we can make that easier for others who are dealing with maybe not just multiplicity, but like mental health and just unusual, precarious situations in general. So, thanks for watching. Here's to a good rest of the year. Uh, bye.